Hi class, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tanjanita Detterville. My friends and family call me Tangy, probably because it's easier to remember and also to say. So if you feel the need to call me Tangy, please feel free to do so as well. I'm originally from New Orleans. I've been living here in Dallas for 12 years now. I moved here after the Hurricane Katrina, and I've been living here ever since, and I love the city. There's plenty of opportunities. The educational system is awesome, and I actually got a great job. I am currently a practice manager. I can say I've been in the medical field for over 20 years, in every aspect of administration. I started off in the emergency room registration, and then I moved on to outpatient, and from outpatient to room control with direct admissions. And then I moved on to day surgery pre-op, and also ambulatory surgery. I worked for two anesthesia groups, where I also did pre-op and scheduling epidural steroid injections and pain management. And this was all done for the hospital I worked for in New Orleans. I worked there for 8 years prior to moving to Dallas. Once I actually moved to Dallas, I actually um, found a job at the neurosurgery office, consisting of 5 neurosurgeons, 5 locations, 6 nurse practitioners. If you get it, my drift, it was a very large practice. That was my first time actually working for a doctor's office. So to see everything from hospital side to the doctor's office, everything pretty much came into full circle for me. Within 1 year of working for the neurosurgeon's office, I was promoted to manager. From there, this was probably in 2006. And from there, I've been managing ever since. Um, it was a great opportunity. I actually was one of my goals that I set for myself, and I was able to accomplish. And I really, really love my job. I worked with the neurosurgeons for 11 years. Before moving on to the current job that I have now as practice administrator for private practice for cardiology. I now work for three cardiologists. They actually have three different aspects of cardiology balled into one. One does the interventional cardiology, the other does the pacemaker and defibrillators, and then the other cardiologist, he actually will work on your veins if you have blockages, and it's called venous ablations and venous Dopplers. We do PET scans, we do nuclear stress tests, echocardiograms, all in the office. So I've been in contact with patient care for quite some time. Like I said, it's been over 20 years, which is totally amazing, but I love what I do. I have three amazing children. I have a 22-year-old son who's in the military. He just started in the military about maybe 8 months now. He's currently in Virginia, and he'll be moving on to Fort Polk next month. Um, and then his career is actually starting to take off for him. He has a wife and 2 kids. So I do have 2 grandbabies, a granddaughter and a grandson. I also have an 18-year-old son who's in Job Corps, and I also have a almost 16-year-old daughter, which we're preparing for her Sweet 16 party. So I'm always busy, busy, busy between my job and home, but I enjoy it all. I wouldn't change it for the world. Um, I'm trying to think of one of my experiences that I had when speaking. Of course, when you're a manager and you're a leader, one of the leadership roles is speaking to your, if it's not your staff, it may be when I worked for the hospital, for the neurosurgeons, it was corporate. So a bunch of the directors and managers would meet on a monthly basis. So each one of us had a key component that we had to share with the system, with the corporation. Um, I think one time where I was speaking and it was impromptu, where I didn't have time to prepare, which was very scary because when you're speaking in front of people, you tend to get a little nervous. However, once you start, and especially if you know what you're speaking about, it kind of relaxes you where you can deliver the message and be very effective doing so. So I think that was one of my times where uh, I don't think it went very well as far as getting the word across, but someone who was prepared could not be there, so they asked me to step in at the last minute at a meeting, and I had to really think fast. Um, what I would like to get out of this class is to not only be an effective speaker, but to also keep the attention of the people that I'm speaking with. I want to make sure, try and put in jokes where it's funny and it's interesting, and also have a clever way of getting the message across where it's effective and is delivered, and maybe they can remember and take that piece on to remember where it's educational for them, and they can also maybe take that piece of educational material that I've given them on with their career to push them on as well. um, as far as God, how He may use me is with my speaking. I think He's already started that process. I've actually been speaking, which was the very first time, was about 3 weeks ago. I had to speak at church. Normally, I sneak in the door and I sit in on the back pew, and I do say hi to the elders in the church, and I give them hugs and kisses, and then I sneak out the door. So lately, God has been working on me to speak about domestic violence, which is something that I endured, and getting the message across to help others. So I have been speaking at church, and I'm actually set to do part two of my speech. And I've prepared, I wrote down what I was going to say, and then I actually left the paperwork in my purse on purpose because I felt that it was something that I lived. It was my life, and I wanted it to be natural. And they were very pleased. I got a lot of standing ovations, and a lot of people came up after church, and they were very, they felt that I was very informative and very effective on what I was saying. So I want to continue, if that's a platform for me, if that's the way God chooses to use me and speaking, then I will be glad to do so. But also, I'm glad that I'm taking this class so that if I am transitioning as a, to use that as a platform to start speaking not only to church but different groups. And, I do want to take this a bit further. So I think this class will definitely help me. So I definitely, want to get a lot of out of this class so I can be effective and pretty much make this a stepping stone for me as well. Not only to be effective at work, but to be effective in my life in general, and of course in church. Um, well, that's pretty much all I have for you today. I know I will be seeing you guys. I really, really look forward to this class, and I know that we all will enjoy it and we will get a lot out of it. So I'm so excited to get started, and I wish you all the luck in the world. God bless you in your journey, and I know you will succeed and be very successful. Thank you and have a great day. See you later.